if you're new here, my name is Rita. Thanks for stopping by. There's a crying baby. Stop. Hey there. Hey there. Hey there. Baby girl. Go 10 minutes in and out. Hi. What we bring to the table doesn't exist. What you are doesn't exist. We are so caught up in looking at others and trying to pick from them so that we can become us, when what we are and what we are to be doesn't exist. It's fresh. You are fresh. All that you are is fresh. Hey there, welcome back to Conversations with Ree. This is episode 9, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Rita. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are going to have a candid heart-to-heart conversation. If you have been following the last episodes, then you know that last month we went really heavy on organization and productivity habits, and we had a lot of activities around that, and it was quite an upbeat, up-tempo type of experience we were having. And following that, which is this month, this episode, we were supposed to have a follow-up activities building up from where we left off last month. However, along the way, as I was trying to prepare for that, I sensed a new theme pulling me or drawing me towards it. And the more I tried to focus on what was the original plan, what was the original structure for this month's episode, the harder I found it to prepare. I couldn't flow like I usually do. So I decided to pay more attention to the theme that was beginning to take over, and that's how we are at this conversation, which is like what I am calling a heart-to-heart interlude, because it's breaking what we were doing and bringing us to this little calm, quiet episode, which is a candid conversation. So the theme was basically pushing me to the direction of slowing down, pulling me out of the do, and pause, reflect, be in the moment with me, slow down. And when I say with me, I want to emphasize that, if you have been following or read some of my captions, is the word captions? If you read my video descriptions or you've read the about description of this platform, then you know a lot of the theme around this platform is personal development, is becoming who we were created to be. As I am becoming, I am hoping to inspire you along your journey. And for me, becoming has no basis outside my identity in Christ. So therefore, all that I am is as God leads me. As God leads my life, my work, the activities I do, and all that concerns Rita and all that is Rita, that is where I pour out from. That is where I draw from. That is my source. That is my resource. So I got to this point where I felt like God is telling me, I know you had plans, you had set up an entire structure. Yeah, structure is a word, but I'm looking for something else, but we'll go with structure. You'd set up a structure for this month, but I am asking you, or I'm leading you to a place where you are going to talk about when you think you have the plan and this is the way it's supposed to go, and then God is like, no, let's not do it that way. an example of something that happened very recently in a friend's life is coming to mind. I want to see if I can condense it into a pretty quick example. So she's currently been running a Facebook Live on her channel, on her business page, for the last couple of Thursdays, where she trains her clients on what she does. She's a Facebook ad strategist, so she has all these set out schedules and themes around what she's going to teach. Maybe that's what I was looking for. I'd set out a theme. So this particular Thursday comes and so much is going on. She's also a work from home mom and has two children, and she just is not able to get time out to do her live session. So she says, okay, I'll do it the next day. But at some point she was almost getting to that point where she was a bit disappointed with herself, and she had this conversation with God where it's like, no, we don't do that, we realign. So that same evening she ends up doing, I hope I remember the fact correct, but the story makes sense even if I don't. She ends up going into a session that night, going into a training, and she loved the training so much she changed her entire plan for what she was going to go live on, and goes live on Friday with that training, with her lessons from that training that she wanted to share with her clients, which eventually there's a lot to, not a lot, but there's parts I'm leaving out that gets that training that she did into the hands of the person who did the original training, rather who she was quoting and speaking about. And all this leads to her getting a free slot to the next training session that they had that was coming up, which was something she was trying to save up for on her own, and the goal was getting farther and farther away the more she was trying to put some clients' money together, and hopefully she can get 1 or 2 clients to pay up. Actually, it was 7 clients. Let me be more specific. 7 clients on her list package. She needed those to come in for her to be able to go into that course. So where I'm going with this is what looked like her getting off schedule and not doing what she was supposed to do was her being realigned and being pulled and put together into a purpose. So it was not meant to go down on Thursday, even though she always goes live on Thursday. She was meant to go on Friday after listening to the session she had that evening, therefore being inspired by that content and creating content out of it, which inspired the original content creator and had her get a slot in that coaching class. And that resonated with the way I had been feeling about this month and a lot of other things that are happening in my life as well, where I need to remember that I need to remember that it's not about what my performance or what I'm doing or how well I am doing everything. It is really about how well am I listening to God's guidance, how well am I listening to the calling that is constantly where I draw from and where I pull from my work and essentially everything that I do. But in terms of what Rita produces, what Rita does, it is more than just getting everything done. It is really about listening and knowing what I'm supposed to do at each particular moment, at each particular time. And I felt like what I was experiencing was what I was supposed to share this month versus deal with it on my own, go get back to the get back to the original plan for this month, because I feel like we all have experiences like that where we think we're supposed to go another way, but God is pulling us a certain way, or redirecting us, or guiding us afresh. He's saying, yes, we're still going to do that, but pause, listen. There's such a need to slow down the mind, to tune in, to listen from within in how it is we do life, versus do constantly in this workaholic mode, when the results could come from different ways. Like I said, my friend could have insisted on, I always put up my videos on Thursday. This is how I have set it up with my clients. I need to keep that up because that is how I'll get more clients and therefore pay for the class that I need to get into. Whereas the interruption was her being redirected to instantly get into the class because they were so impressed with how she put in how she put together their own ideas and recreated it for her own audience, and basically her class was paid for and she didn't need the 7 clients at her lowest package to get in. So I've mentioned that this platform is dedicated to self-development and becoming. I really want to tie that into it being about becoming who you were created to be, being about your divine destiny, it being about being in your divine potential. So there's something else at work in our lives. There's someone else at work in our lives as we do life, as we go about. It's bigger than just what we can see and what we are doing. Therefore, even how we function needs to reflect that biggerness, that differentness. Does that make sense? And when I look into what this becoming is, it also has to do with things God is trying to do in us. He's trying to deal with our fears. He's trying to deal with our mindsets and things, the way we have looked at things, our perspective on life. He's trying to work on our perceptions of who we are and knowing who we are in Him, and therefore doing life from that. And that can't be achieved from just the doing. It has to truly become a place of being. I feel like, I hope I am not speaking in parables, because I'm trying to explain this from the depths of myself, so that you can catch it from the depths of yourself. So we're not doing an intellectual conversation here. We're actually doing a meaning share and a meaning conversation, a meaning exchange. That's the best way I can put it right now. So in many ways, there are aspects of confidence, there's aspects of identity, there's aspects of foundations. What are our foundations? What's going on there? That's what this becoming and this self-development that I am bringing to the table is about. It is not simply achievements. It's not simply how much got done and what was done. It's about, there's healing involved to it. There's correction of mindsets. There's checking if foundations are right, or taking out foundations and starting to layer fresh. There's believing, there's dealing with fear and doing it anyway, or learning to silence it. There is so much about it. Recently, I was listening to one of my sisters on what happens to be her first radio interview. She was on there for work, and I picked up a couple of things, but I want to share this one particular one. There was this question posed to her about if where she went to school is there, what she studied and where she went to school, particularly where she went to school, because she didn't study in the country, being the competitive advantage she had to get that job or over other candidates. And I like the answer she gave, and I want to link it to everything that I'm talking about. And she said something that I believe, but I love how she said it, and because she brought it to mind, I want to share it. She reminded us that every person's journey is unique, and that unique journey was supposed to be that way to lead you to where you are and where you're supposed to go. And she was bringing up the reminder that God is so intentional with each one of our lives, with each one of our stories, and it's not that one thing is better than another. There shouldn't be this comparison aspect. Each journey is unique. Each journey is leading each one to their divine destiny, to their divine potential. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that is what she was saying. And it really had, I sat on that, and I was just like holding on to that, and I wanted to bring it here to just remind you, as I'm reminding myself, that there is such a call on each one of us to truly be ourselves. First of all, embrace ourselves, embrace our journeys, embrace everything about us as is, in each season as is. And therefore, from embracing being you, being all that you are, being as unique as you are, bringing your uniqueness to the table. There is such a calling on each one of us to bringing our uniqueness to the table, because who you are is different, and there hasn't been anything or anyone like you before, and what you bring is so unique. I was just thinking, I don't know why the idea of a baker came to mind, but I was just thinking 2 bakers could be making, I don't know, pina colada cakes, but their approach and their style and what they do to create those cakes with the same name creates 2 different products. Even at the end, their decor style, even if they're picking from the same theme, would be so different. And I would like to remind us to remember that what we bring to the table doesn't exist. What you are doesn't exist. We are so caught up in looking at others and trying to pick from them so that we can become us, when what we are and what we are to be doesn't exist. It's fresh. You are fresh. All that you are is fresh. Your destiny is fresh. Your potential is fresh. Well, it should be fresh. A lot of the times we exist in the stale versions of ourselves, the comparison, the compare, the copy, when we are supposed to be bringing the fresh versions of ourselves. So on this journey that we are together of becoming, and part of those is when we have these conversations with I thought a break, the break that I was feeling from moving from the do to listen, to tune in, to embrace the unique way I do my platform and other things, would be something I'd share with you to cause you to pause, think, reconsider how you are functioning in life right now, and tune in and listen and allow to be redirected, and allow those interruptions that would seem like, oh my gosh, my plan is falling apart, to realize, no, probably my plan is falling in place. This interruption is what was meant to be. So tune in, pause, listen. God is constantly speaking to us. What's that they say? Stop asking people for directions when they have no idea where you're going. And then I'll add, and start asking, but more like listening, because God has always been trying to tell you. Start listening to your creator, to the one who made you. Start listening and tuning into his directions, because he knows where you're going. He's the author of your life. He's the one who has your destiny in his hands. He's the one who's planning this whole thing. He's the one who is scripting out your life. You could push and decide to do it your own way and just stay in the do, or you can exhale and allow for the unfolding and the unveiling of your life to happen as he says it is to be, as he says, look what I'm planning, look at what I'm doing, would you trust me? So I think I'm going to stop it here. Like I said, this is just a heart to heart. This is just a share of what I'm currently experiencing and currently going through. So I look forward to seeing you on the next Conversations with Me, which should be in a month, next month, or in a week, for the Throne Room Experience series, or in 2 weeks, which is at the end of the month, for the monthly vlog. I almost forgot what. Alright, bye bye, and thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one.